Be advised, the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Good morning, everyone. You are watching the Business Portal, your gateway to business trends and opportunities. We are live here in GNN. Welcome to Pisobilities.
Cash, cold, that's what I need.
I'm Armand Bengco, your host from the Colayco Foundation. This is the show that you should follow and not miss and be remiss. The show that will change your life for a better life. Our talk show, simply put, is about money. Everything you need to know about money. How to get it, how to save it, how to protect it, how to grow it, how to spend it, and how to share it. Our show aims to 1. Make you financially literate, 2. Educate you in putting your personal finances in order, and 3. Provide alternatives on what to do with your hard-earned money other than spending. You want to understand banks more? How about insurance product, the stock market, or government or corporate bonds, derivatives, foreign currency, or simply you want to learn about instruments or vehicles to put your savings and investments? So make this your Tuesday morning habit. After the break, we shall discuss what and why Pisobilities, and we shall have our first ever guest in this initial episode. Do not touch that remote.
My favorite number is 1, 2, 3. You see, I want money, lots of money. Cash, cold, that's what I need.
Welcome back to Pisobilities. Pisobilities is a portmanteau word coined by the Colayco Foundation. It refers to your ability to earn and manage your peso and the possibilities of making that same peso work for you. Each person's financial profile should be like a 1 peso coin. You have 2 sides that give you more than enough capacity to attain financial independence. One side of your coin is your ability to generate active income, or the income earned when you invest your own time, sweat, and God-given talents. The other side is your ability to generate passive income, or the income earned from your savings and investments, otherwise known as investment income. You have to use these two capabilities at the same time. And what best way to start off this show? And who best to talk to about money, savings, investments, being wealthy, than the man who started it all here in the Philippines, the man behind Pisobilities and Colayco Foundation, Francisco J. Colayco. Welcome to the show, Mr. Colayco.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. We have known each other for 13 years. Baka you haven't noticed, Mr. Colayco. Pero I'll give you the floor in as far as introducing yourself. Maraming tawag sa inyo eh, di ba? In the corporate world, we often call you FJC. But your friends, family, how do they call you, Mr. Colayco?
Well, you know, I'm just like you. I have a nickname, and I'm called Topax.
What's the story? I know the story already, but for the benefit of our audience.
Well, to begin with, it's spelled T-O-P-A-X.
T-O-P-A-X.
Kasi, you know, at the time when I was in high school, at that time teenagers used to reverse the names. And my nickname was Paquito.
Paquito.
So it became Topakits. And then they found it too long. They made it even shorter, naging Topax.
Wala pang
It's
ibig
spelled with the
sabihin.
next.
Wala pang ibig sabihin
Wala
nun
pang ibig sabihin
na negative
Topax,
connotation.
no.
Yes. Can you tell us briefly about the family? I know there is some pride in the family because of the parents.
Well, I'm proud to be a Colayco. My father is Captain Manuel Colayco. He's a national hero.
National hero.
Officially, he was declared the first casualty at the liberation of Manila in February 1945.
Pag national hero, nakalibingan ng bayani yan, di ba?
Oo, nasa libingan
Sa libingan ng mga
tatay
bayani.
ko.
Meron tayong dating presidente, gustong-gustong malibing doon, hindi mailibing-libing.
Well, I don't want to talk about that.
But your father is
Yeah.
sa libingan ng mga bayani.
There, and my mother was a university professor and declared a professor emeritus at the University of Santo Tomas. So when my father died, I was only 4 months old.
You never saw your
I
dad?
never saw my dad, so my mom was my father and mother at the same time. And there were 7 of us.
7 siblings.
Yeah, and my mother, through teaching, tutoring, writing books, textbooks, nagsa-sideline as radio commentator during the time at the Manila Broadcasting. And I was a young boy. I remember she brought us up through her own effort and, of course, with a lot of help from a lot of people.
Schooling, how was schooling for the Colayco siblings having no father?
We were lucky to have been given scholarships by Ateneo and for my sisters,
Ateneo.
Assumption. We were given scholarships. I guess in recognition of my dad's contribution, as well as the good name of my mother as a serious professor of English literature, I think, and Catholic literature sa University of Santo Tomas. So we were lucky to have scholarships. And of course, a lot of people helped as well. Knights of Columbus gave us stipends.
So hindi kayo anak mayaman? Hindi kayo...
No. Far from it. Hindi naman kami dirt
Kasi
poor.
ngayon, Colayco, ang daming naririnig na Colayco in different fields, lalo na sa business.
I think we were more, as a family, focused on education. So most of us have achieved certain levels of education. Kaya I guess the name carries some relation to being educated, being in the education community, or at least professionals with the right education. Because that was the value that my mom
I was
really
about
focused on.
to get into that. As far as you're considered the financial guru, personal financial guru in the country, how was life financially during those early years? Kayo ba yung anything that you remember right away?
Yeah, I know. I remember we used to buy our food palista.
Dinaanan nyo rin yan?
Oo, palista. Minsan, the blackboard and the Chinese sari-sari store, puno na. We went to that. My brothers and I would buy food in the neighborhood store, palista. And that was part of it. You know, my mom was a teacher. You have to raise 7 children.
Magkakadikit ba kayo age-wise?
More or less, yeah. At that time, I think my eldest sibling was 11 years old when I was born. So, more or less, we were two years apart from each other, more or less.
Any saving tip na o anything that the mother gave early on in life on how to handle money? What age were you first entrusted with money? Allowance?
Well, we went to school, but even the allowance was basically food. Instead of buying food, we would make baon. Okay? And the money that we ever had would be for transportation. So, and we knew our limitations.
Because
We knew what we could afford, we knew what we could afford.
you went to a good school, Ateneo, and back then, up to now, it's perceived to be the school where some of the wealthy families go to. How did you handle peer pressure? Was there
No, but
peer pressure?
there are as many...
Or at least to yourself, you would see
There
classmates?
were and there are, I think, as many students in that school, in Ateneo, who are not landed, who are not from rich families, but who are basically focused on educating themselves properly, who got help from scholarships, or from friends, or from hard-earned money of their parents.
Not much pressure in
Because
school
my
then.
mom's thinking was education is an investment.
Education is an investment.
It's an investment that buys your future. Because as we say all the time, money is a creation. It's an idea. You can start with nothing and come up with a lot. Depends on what you do, what your purpose is, what you create, and what you serve by, working or offering your time and talent.
Are you a scholarly student back then?
No. Unfortunately, looking back, I wish I were, but I was not. You know, I was.
Weren't you running for
No.
Latin honors?
Once in a while, I would have that urge, but I was more into networking with friends and, barkada, if you want to call it that. But it's not the barkada that
The negative
barkada, no. I was more into friendship development. And I'd take my study seriously if I was interested in the subject.
And you took up
AB Economics.
AB Economics in Ateneo. After college life, your early life in as a professional, nakakuha ba kayo kagad ng magandang trabaho? What was
Yes.
your first job? What was your
I was
first
lucky.
formal
We
employment?
were among the few Ateneo graduates that were taken in as management trainee by Procter & Gamble. P&G at that time, and up to now, I think, has that reputation of being a very good trainer and employer. So my first 2 years was honed in management principles and the economics of business, the way how to run business organizations through the Procter & Gamble way and values of Procter & Gamble.
You
That
seem
I
to
value
enjoy.
very much.
You seem to have enjoyed your P&G's days.
Oh yeah, P&G offered a lot of very positive peer environment. You would work with people who would more or less be in the same wavelength, the same capability, the same mental capacity and values. So there was a lot of, those were one of my best years.
After P&G,
I took the opportunity to take up a full-time master's course, master's in business. And that was also courtesy of Philippine veterans. I am the only son of my parents that was able to avail of any benefit from the Philippine veterans. Ako lang. I guess at that time, the lowest passed. Ako na lang got to enjoy it.
And that you were a full-time
Full-time student. I took
After MBA,
it was a master's in business management at the Ateneo, which is now AIM.
okay.
That we were the last graduates of Ateneo, LaSalle, and UP under that program. And the year after, it was converted as Asian Institute of Management.
How many employers did you have in your career? In your best quick guess?
Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5?
Yeah.
So hindi ka pa
P&G.
lipat-lipat or are you
Was it PNG, SGV?
SGV. You were
VAJ?
also with SGV.
Five. That's
Five.
right, five. Before I went on my own, five.
You went on your own.
At the
what
age
do you
of
mean
40.
At age of 40.
I was a professional manager. I was president of First Holdings International when I decided to go on my own. And that was the age of 40 in 84.
84. Okay.
So 40 is a good time to start your own business. You have a lot of experience, you have a lot of network, and presumably you have a lot of expertise.
Before we go to your going on your own, among the four, who was your best employer and why?
Each one had a role to play. I cannot say each one is best. PNG gave me the fundamentals of business organizations, systems, the way to plan, execute, measure, and control. Then I went into a small company, VA Lim Incorporated, where I was honed into starting up companies. I was a young graduate and I was given the opportunity to start up companies. So that was very, very, I would say, very unique opportunity for a young man at that age. Then I joined SGV as a professional consultant. Then that was another field altogether.
And a different discipline. that was
Different
developed.
discipline when you talk about research, industry practice, best practices, things like this. Then I was taken in by Resins Inc., the group, where I was also given very responsible positions. I ended up managing their shipyard and also getting into international operations. I always ended up doing things I was not hired to do. It was not the plan, pero yun ang nangyari sa buhay ko.
And when you went into business or on your own,
Yep.
how was it? How was your first experience?
Because when I went on my own, I decided to partner with two multinational organizations, Swiss and French, to do the things that I was doing since 1976, 76 to 84,
Okay.
which is international contracting, So I knew it like the back of my hand.
Right.
I knew everything. I had the world's most perfect project study. I had the funding, I had good partners.
Market.
I had 7 signed international contracts. I was counting my money.
Counting the
Surefire.
hatched eggs already.
But you know, in life, unless money is in your pocket, it's not in your pocket. So
What happened to the 7 contracts?
7 signed contracts. I put all my savings. My wife was very supportive. Sige, let's go. This is something you know. I knew everything. So we put it. You know, not one of the 7 signed contracts materialized.
Not one.
Not one.
For what
For
reason?
reasons beyond our control.
Not your fault.
Certainly not our fault. We had already commissioned our people. I piloted executives from other companies. We mobilized our people in 3 or 4 countries. We spent our capital only to find out that the contracts could not be enforced. Reasons beyond our control and beyond clients' control. Change of government procedures, change of regulations in the countries where we were supposed to operate. So many reasons. So I ended up calling my markers, meaning I talked to my old clients abroad and said, I'm on my own, I have some friends, we can do this, give me contracts. And we managed to survive based on those old networking that I used to do.
Aside from realizing that money is not with you till it's in your pocket, business lesson or lesson in business. Marami ngayon usong-uso, get into business, entrepreneurship. From your experience,
Well,
what lesson?
never focus on returns.
Never focus on returns.
Focus on risk management.
Because you were, as you said, counting already your
Risks, as we always say in our seminars, all returns are risk-driven. Returns, by and large, are beyond our control. Risks are within our control. And yet, entrepreneurs and investors focus on returns. 90%, I would say, focus on returns.
Right, right.
Something you cannot control. Whereas if we focus on risk, which is what we can control, that's where the guarantees of returns come. When you manage risk, returns will follow.
Right now, in the past few years when we started the Colayco Foundation, you have focused most of your time, resources in this foundation, Colayco Foundation. Quickly, I'll give you the floor, though I'm also very much part of it. What does the Colayco Foundation do?
I think, well, we formed it, as you know. It was always my lifelong dream to share what I know. And I felt that 40, 50 years of experience has given me that right, or that capacity to share the little that I know with people who have not had the benefit of serious entrepreneurial training.
Right.
So we decided at that point that I'd like to empower the people to, as you said in your introduction, to have the correct mindset. You know, if you are not resolved, I think it was Abraham Lincoln who said it. I don't know how he exactly said it, but something to the effect that you have to have the resolution to succeed. Nothing else matters. That is the most important thing. You have to have the resolve to succeed. And you cannot have the resolve to succeed unless you know what you want at all. You have to be able to define what you want. If you don't know that, you can be the most brilliant person, the most energetic individual. You will fail.
Right, right. When we get back from our break, or before the break, we will be showing what the Colayco Foundation really does. From the seminars and the books, the publications that you see, like this material that that are available commercially. This is what the Colayco Foundation does, and with GNN, we have prepared Wealth Tip, a Wealth Tip segment that you may have seen earlier before the program came in, and you will be seeing as weeks to come of segments that will give you wealth tips. Let's watch our wealth tip for the week.
Bay, matanong nga kita, pag binigyan kita ng 100 piso, anong gagawin mo?
Siguro po bibili ako ng pansit din sa kanto. Paborito po yun ng pamilya ko.
Ay, mabait ka talagang ama ng pamilya.
Salamat po.
Yung homecoming party mo, magkano ginastos niyo dyan?
10,000. Medyo malaki pero maraming maunang kaligayan.
Bay, ito ha, tatapatin kita. Kaya ka nagkakaproblema sa pera, dahil mali ang pagtingin mo dito.
Mali. Bakit man ako maging mali? Para saan mo ba ang pera, di ba? Para sa paggastos sa mga kailangan natin.
Ang tawag dyan, lifestyle mindset. Yan ang pagtingin sa pera bilang panggastos lang sa mga gusto mo. Money is used to fund your lifestyle. Kung halimbawa, bigyan ko ang isang sino ng 100, anong palagay mong gagawin niya dito? Iimbakin niya yon at papalaguin. The Chinese save and invest their money. Konti lang ang ginagastos nila pang lifestyle. Yan ang tinatawag na abundance mindset. Ang paggamit sa pera para palaguin ang kanilang kinikita para sa kanilang hinaharap. Money is a tool to increase one's wealth. Hindi porket hindi ka Chinese, hindi mo na pwedeng baguhin ang pag-iisip mo mula lifestyle mindset patungo sa abundance mindset. Palagay mo ba malulunasan ang problema mo sa pera kung puro sa mga gusto lang mapupunta ito?
Hindi po.
Teka muna, gusto mo ba talagang yumaman?
Hindi. Joke lang po. Sino mong taong ayaw yumaman?
Ano bang kayamanan para sa iyo?
Yung maraming pera. Para na rin ulo sa anak ko at asawa ko.
Ganun kadami? 1 million? 10 million? Tandaan mo ba ang pera nauubos, ang kayamanan hindi. Iba ang pera sa kayamanan. Ang pera o money is just a tool for you to become wealthy. Nauubos yan. The money that you earn is your income. Perang pinagtatrabahuhan mong kitain. Ang kayamanan or wealth, that also includes money, but it's more than money.
Oo nga, parang sinabi ng mayaman ako sa pagmamahal, sa mga kaibigan, sa talent, at looks.
Tama. Sa tingin ko nga, sa mga bagay na walang kinalaman sa pera, mayaman ka na.
Multimilyonaryo na ako. Pero sana, maging mayaman rin ako pang pinansyal.
Kaya kailangan mo maging financially literate o maalam sa pera.
what I need.
Welcome back to Pisobilities. We are still with the personal finance guru, Francisco J. Colayco. Sir FJC, this is your book, Wealth Within Your Reach. Really attractive, catchy title. Parang lahat pwedeng yumaman. What is wealth? Ano bang sabihin ng, why did you say wealth is within everyone's reach?
Well, tinanong natin yan eh. When are you wealthy?
Yeah, when are we wealthy?
Most people say, pag madami kong kasangkapan, may have a lot of assets, I'm wealthy. But that's only one side of the equation. It's the real equation for wealth is what is it that you need. Diba? Now, you're wealthy when you don't have to work and you satisfy your needs.
Okay.
In fact, remember we say that when we asked, there was an interview with God, and the question was, when are you wealthy? And what did God say? Sabi ng God, well, rich is not the one who has the most.
It's not the one who has the most.
He is one who needs the least. So it's easy to be wealthy. All you need to do is define your needs and make sure you have enough assets that will generate cash or income to satisfy those needs. So you could have 1 million and be wealthy, depending on your needs. Or you could have 100 million and not be wealthy because your needs are...
So it's very relative, ano?
Very relative. Wealth is very personal. But if you go to the basics of life, food, shelter, and a lifestyle that you choose, then wealth is easily achieved because you have a lifetime to do it. And it's an obligation. I'll say it again. It's an obligation to be wealthy.
To be wealthy. From the information that we usually get from the Colayco Foundation, we found out there are trillions and trillions of pesos in savings account. Hundreds of billions of pesos in special deposit accounts. How come we are not wealthy yet, Filipinos? What's the common mistake? What are we doing wrong? Or what are we not doing?
Well, this is what I said earlier. We don't have a plan. One has to have an end game. What is it that I want? So investing, like life, must be purpose-driven.
Purpose-driven.
This is what we have in our seminars, purpose-driven investing. You need to plan, and you cannot plan unless you have a goal. The most difficult thing is to define your goal. It's like solving a problem. If you do not define your problem, you cannot solve it. Diba?
Tanong galing mo na.
Yeah, but if you define your problem, you have solved 50% of it. The same is true with planning, especially wealth. You need to have a target. You have to have an amount, when you need it, and why.
This is the reason why this workbook is in existence.
Yes,
you wrote
yes.
it with Professor Helen Valderrama of
That's right.
University of the Philippines. This helps you in your financial planning.
Yes.
How much you need to save, when you are targeting to get your target amount, and a snapshot of investment instruments that you can
You will need.
It
gives you a roadmap.
Gives-
Once you have a target, you have a roadmap.
Kadalasan, Filipinas walang target.
Wala eh. Actually may target tayo. We are not just conscious of it. We don't sufficiently define it or articulate it. Unlike, alam mo, building wealth is like a journey. I want to go to Cubao. Very clear ang target ko. I want to go to Cubao by 3 p.m. I know what road, what direction I can take, what routes I can take. I can go to Fort Bonifacio, I can go to EDSA, I can go the long way, go to Manila and end up in Cubao. Obviously, I will not do that. Obviously, I know I don't have to go to Batangas if I'm in Makati to go to Cubao. The same is true with money. If you know that you need 1,500,000 or 10 million, 10, 20 years from now, you know what you have to do. The roadmap is opened up to you right away. Then you have you choose which roadmap you will use. That's where financial literacy comes into play.
But FJC, I'm not an accountant. I'm a marketing graduate. I'm a fine arts student. Baka kailangan I should know so many financial terms, and you always talk about the magic of compounding.
Financial jargon intimidates a lot of people.
Yes.
But you can actually translate it into simple terms. Like when you say rate of return, it's how fast you want to travel.
Okay.
If I want to go to Cubao and I want to travel at 100 kilometers per hour, I'll be there in 15 minutes.
Okay.
If I want to travel at 15 kilometers per hour, I'll be there in 1 hour. Something like that. That's the rate of return sa pera.
Okay.
How fast your money grows.
All right.
But if I mention to you, if you have no background on money and I intimidate you with financial jargon as internal rate of return, compounding, you'll get turned off. But what it really means is that how fast do you want to get to your destination?
Bakit mahirap magpalago? What is it, in some of the materials that we saw, there are allies and obstacles. What is the best ally? Let's just tackle one because
Sure.
this wealth tip segment will be...
The best ally is what every human being has. Time.
Time.
Time, panahon. Whether you are filthy rich, 100 billion, or you have less than 1 peso in your pocket, or minus 100 in your pocket, you still have 24 hours a day. So that you can use, provided you have a plan, provided you're earning a little to start investing, and let it grow. Let your money roll. Yan ang compounding. Income on top of income, income on top of interest, interest on top of income, etc., etc. That's rolling.
If you have comments, questions, reactions, kindly text us at 0922-859-0875. Please indicate your name and location. And pag nakahabol, itatanong natin sa ating special guest today, si Mr. Francisco Colayco. Compounding, ano ba yung sabihin ng kailangan ba yan i-demand ko doon sa bangko o kung saan ako nag-i-invest?
No, compounding is all up to you. Compounding means leave your money alone.
Leave my money alone.
Pag ako let's put a simple example. I put it in a time deposit. Ano ngayon? 5%?
Yes.
Para simple, 5%. The 1,000 I put in January, at the end of the year, December 31, it will add 5%. That's 50 pesos.
Okay.
So I will now have 1,050. The next year, I will start with 1,050. No? If I earn another 5%, I will now have magkano yun? 525?
Yes.
So I will now have 1,010.25 and so on and so forth. Yung kita mo, pinapatungan pa ng kita. That's rolling it. But if I spend everything I earn, I earn 5 pesos, I spend it. At the end of even 100 years, I'll still have 1,000 pesos.
1,000 pesos pa rin.
But if I don't spend what I earn, I roll it at 5%, it will double in, for example, I think it will double in 12
Yes.
years, more or less, 12 and a half years. In 12 and a half years, yung 1,000 ko magiging 2,000.
You have a very good example in the 33 pesos a day.
Yes.
Ano bang 33 pesos a day because of compounding? How does how much does that amount to?
In 30 years, which is the lifespan, the working, let's say the lower end estimate for the amount of years you will work for money at 30 years. If you invest 33 pesos a day or 1,000 a month, at how much percent? At 10% per year, you will grow that money to 2.1 million pesos.
Okay.
2.1 million pesos. And how much money would you have put out? 360,000 over 360 months. Hindi biglaan. 1,000 per month.
1,000 per
That's compounding.
Ano, sakto yung pagka-discuss natin yan dahil Ana of QC texted, what if mas mababa ang sahod kaysa sa gastos? How much po ang ideal salary? Thank you. What if mas mababa ang sahod kaysa sa gastos?
Dalawa lang ang solution dyan.
At least may solusyon.
You add more income or reduce your expenses. I mean, money or growing money, hindi magic eh. You have to lay aside something and let it grow. So where does that come from? Kung kulang yung, if you spend more than you earn. Walang pagkukuhanan. So you have to cut your expenses or increase your income.
Okay.
No other thing. You cannot borrow because you borrow will put you down some more.
Okay. Ideal salary, iba-iba yan, ano? Walang...
Iba-iba yan. I have known some people who can live at 10,000. Some cannot live at 100,000 because they spend so much in food every day. They spend 5,000 every day because they eat in the hotels.
Right.
Every day.
Right.
So you have to choose the lifestyle you can afford.
You have to choose...
That's the operative word. You choose a lifestyle you can afford.
Okay. So, meron mga kakampi. The time, as you said, compounding, and the others that you have seen in our wealth tip. Abangan nyo yan lagi sa business portal. Colayco Foundation always gives this wealth tip. And pag hindi nyo na mahintay, lalo na pag Tuesday, 11:30 to 12:30, you can text. Katulad ni Raymond of Cavite, gusto ko mag-invest sa stock market, pero may work ako abroad. My work is abroad, probably. Ano gagawin ko para ma-monitor ang pera ko na nagtatrabaho. Thank you.
Obviously,
They want to invest in the stock market. Parang stock market is always seen as
lahat ng most people I talk to want to invest in the stock market. 2 words of advice. If you have no money set aside for emergencies, don't even think of investing.
Again, let's...
If you have no money set aside for emergencies, do not put your money at risk, especially in investing in the stock market. Second, if you have no experience in the stock market, you should not go into it directly. Because stock market is a very powerful tool to grow your money, but you have to be capable to invest directly. Now, that question apparently he wants to do it himself. He wants to even monitor it by himself.
Yes.
Go in and out of the market. My question to him is, how much money is he willing to?
Bakit, FJC, pag 5,000 pesos, pwede ba ako mag-stock
Hindi
market?
pwede. Sa stock market, I think the minimum lot size is 20,000.
20,000 pesos.
And you can only buy, how many kinds of stock can you buy at 20,000? Baka isa lang. So you're not managing your risk. You're heavily dependent on one share, on one company.
Okay.
That's not prudent.
Does that mean we don't invest in the stock market?
No, you can invest indirectly
Indirectly.
through, as we have always advised, through pooled funds who are managed by professionals who invest in the stock market.
Mamaya pag-usapan natin yan dahil nanginginig na tong cellphone natin dito sa GNN. What investment is much better? Putting your money in an existing business with a growth of 3% a month, or buying a property or land and wait for turnover after 5 years? From Nelson of Tuguegarao City. Layo nang inaabot natin.
Investing in the business is the highest form of risk. Unless it's such an established business that you can reasonably predict the growth. He says he can grow at 3%.
Yes.
I don't know what he means. The business will grow at 3%. You can grow the business by any percent but not make more income.
Again.
You can grow the business in sales but not generate more income.
Pwede pala yun?
Oh, sales lang yun eh. May cost ka eh. You have the cost of goods,
Yung iba
cost of
akala pag
services.
maraming benta.
No. Business is not sales.
Benta is not...
The business that really grows in value are those who grow in terms of volume and in terms of income margin. In other words, growing the market and growing the revenue and growing the net income. If you just grow without any income, what's the point?
Tama. O may nag-follow-up question na, the same, yung kanina, yung tiga Cavite.
Sa pantanong doon, property.
Property.
Hold na, magla-land banking siya.
Right.
That's speculation.
So,
That's not investing.
further studies should be...
Unless you have so much money, you can afford to do that. Okay.
Okay. Ito, saan po magandang way para mag-invest? Through mutual funds or sa brokers? The same guy from Raymond of Cavite.
Brokers do not manage mutual funds. Brokers are the intermediaries for you to invest or buy directly from the stock market. They're brokers. Mutual funds, you have to go directly to the company. There may be intermediaries who will refer you to the mutual fund, but they are not really brokers in the true sense of the word. So you don't go to mutual funds through brokers. You go to the mutual fund directly.
Okay. Our next question, bigla tayo na dinagsa ng mga question. When am I qualified to invest in the stock market and how? From Ronald of Sampaloc.
First, as I said, you have enough money for emergency set aside. Second, you know how to invest in the stock market. You are technically proficient, you're capable, you understand what you're buying, and you understand what you are getting into in terms of risk. But before you even invest, you should define your expectation. Why are you investing in the stock market? You want to go in and out to maximize your money? That technically, that's trading. That's not investing.
Very much-
Investing is long-term. But you can go in and out during that long period, provided you have the expertise, you have the information, the analysis on what you're investing in, how you spread your money into so many stocks, how you manage your risk, and you have to understand the prognosis or the projections for each industry and for each company you invest in.
FJC, parang nahihirapan lalo akong mag-umpisa mag-invest. Sabi nyo, purpose-driven investing, importante talaga may goal, may target.
Yes, that's your first obligation.
Hindi yung parang mga tanong natin, itong instrument, tapos hindi ko pa alam yung purpose, goal, or target.
Hindi pwedeng gusto ko lang yumaman, period. Hindi, gusto ko lang lumago, period. Because it's easy to invest. Ang tanong ko, kailan ka lalabas? Because that value goes up and down. So when do you go out?
Right.
Unless you have a benchmark, a trigger point that tells you it's time for me to go out because I have already reached a target for this period. I can now reduce my investment 30%, 50%. Magka-cash in na muna ako.
Right.
Then before I put in again. Unless you have that plan, you don't know when to get out.
Eto, ang ating last texter bago tayo mabusan ng oras. What if sa mga alahas mag-i-invest, tama po ba ang buy and sell? Lose of Iloilo.
If you are in the buy and sell business, that's a business. That's not investing in financial terms. Meaning that's not a financial investment. It's a business of buy and sell. That means you know how to kilatis the jewelry and you have a market, you know how to make margins. That's buying and selling, that's trading. That's not investing. But if you're going to invest in jewelry, hold on and expect it to increase in value, that's more speculation than investing.
Tumataas daw yung presyo Mabibili
Yeah.
na raw ng mas mataas.
Raw. In principle, tama. But there is no third party or third index that tracks down the value of that jewelry except the market, the market you circulate in. Kadalasan, when you need to sell it, you have to sell it immediately. You don't get the price that you want.
Pag minsan nga sa sanglaan pa bumabagsak.
Exactly. Dahil sabi na, worth daw yan na the 100,000. But there are no buyers. So, bali wala.
Right. Ito, humirit pa ang ating direct last text. Which is more profitable to invest in bonds with conversion in every quarter or semi-annual? From a texter with last 4 digits nga 5259. Siguro yung tanong niya sa bonds. Ano ba tong bonds? Investing in bonds.
Yung bonds, you have to look at the issuer.
Anong sabihin ng issuer? Yung
bonds
nanghihirap?
is a promissory note. A bond is a long-term promissory note. Di ba? I promise to pay you X% interest. So the strength of that bond lies in who is making that
Who
promise.
is borrowing?
Who is borrowing.
Who borrows, FJC? Who borrows money?
Corporations, government, anyone can borrow if he is financially qualified to borrow. But not everyone is equal in terms of credit worthiness. In other words, will you lend to San Miguel or to company XYZ? No, pipili ka. So the integrity and track record of the borrower is very important. Again, you go down to ask the question, what is it that you expect? Can you afford to take the risk if it's a borrower you don't know?
Okay, that is from Edito Lumakang of Sibugay. Napakalayo ng mga pinanggagalingan ng text natin.
Sibugay,
Sibugay. Yung about investing, at one time I heard you say, all investments may be legit, may be sound, but it may not be suited for you. What do you mean by that?
Well, all investments, particularly those approved by our government, central bank, SEC, or whoever, as long as they're legitimate, are good instruments. But that doesn't mean anything. It's only good if it is suitable to you. Is it suitable for your purpose? If it is not, it doesn't serve any purpose. That's why, as I'm saying, it's very important that you're able to assess and discern whether a particular instrument is the right one for you, given your target
your
and your
purpose.
timetable and the kind of risk you want to take.
So, a government bond, is obviously a legitimate investment pero hindi bagay sa akin, pwedeng baka bagay sa inyo.
Especially for a retiree, ayaw na niyang mag-take ng risk. He just wants regular cash flow. And if he's happy with a X amount return, if investing in that bond gives him that amount, why not? He doesn't take any risk. He can sleep easy. But for a young guy who wants to grow his wealth, that's not exactly the best instrument for him.
Sinabi ko rin dati, even legitimate investments or investments na bumagsak, hindi ibig sabihin illegal or scam. What do you
Well, you know, industries go down and up. What we saw in 2008 in the financial world, you saw the biggest companies fall because of changes in the economic conditions, especially housing in the U.S. When the housing bubble burst, everything else that was being peddled related to it went down. Plus, the government changed the rules. Okay. So, these are the things that make an industry succeed or not. Things beyond our control.
Hindi porke bumagsak illegal sila.
No, for example, this is a bit technical. The question of the pre-need industry here. The government changed the rules. The same rules that they adopted here, they copied from the U.S. The same rules that the U.S. changed applied dito, and they're a developed country. So the industry collapsed. Everybody collapsed.
Right.
So the industry had served its purpose. Sayang, it could have served more. Except that the rules changed.
Alam nyo, for our viewers, for other questions, next week po natin sasagutin. Marami kayong mga tinatanong. We'll keep track of it. But to close our episode today, FJC, Mr. Colayco, Sir Topax, isa sa portion namin is to really get to know our guest. Meron kaming tinatawag dito yung wallet raid. Our wallet raid simply means, pwede nga bang i-share sa amin yung, pakita lang nung wallet, what usually, how do you usually look at your wallet or how does your wallet look like? Kasi naglalagyan mo ba yung wallet nyo?
Baka may mga bawal dito
Baka meron kayo dyan mga pang-protection, kinare protection. This is your wallet. Protection na, si Direk tumatawa. Protection, ibig sabihin, merong gamot. Kasi ako muna, FJC, ako pala dapat ang una. This is my wallet. Ito ang natitirang allowance sa akin for the week, a little over 1,000. Some cards, ATM, wala na akong credit card. Dati kasi sinasabi namin sa Colayco Foundation, kung anong itsura ng wallet mo, most likely yun ang paraan mo paghawak ng iyong pananalapi. So, meron akong konting paswerte dito, binigay sa akin by one Chinese friend. Mga SIM card pala yun. Ito, basta meron mga konting feng shui Chinese stuff and some business cards. Yun lang ang kinikeep ko sa wallet ko and picture of my kids. How about you, FJC? Kayo na humawak, baka mabawasan pa ng pera. Magkano cash meron kayo dyan?
Meron akong lucky $1.
Lucky $1.
Meron akong a few thousand. Dito.
Mga 5,000 estimate.
Ringgit. Yan. And then akong barya for mga...
Barya 500?
Hindi
Barya
naman.
para kay FJC ang 500?
Hindi naman. A few lang. And then, kasi minsan, I prefer to buy cash dahil malaki discount.
Okay.
And then, of course, I have my senior citizen card.
Senior citizen card, of
Para
course.
libre akong 20%. I have my credit card.
How many credit cards do you have, FJC?
3 yata.
3. Mamili lang kayo ng isa. How much is your credit card limit?
Saan?
Sa isang card nyo, kung pwede nyo sabihin. Kung
dito,
ayaw nyo, pipilitin lang namin kayo ulit.
Dito sa, I think sa BDO, 400.
400,000.
Tagal na kasi ako member dyan eh.
Pwede tayo bumili sa sakyan nun, di ba?
Pinapa,
400,000.
hindi ko naman ginagamit.
Hindi ginagamit. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time has run out for our first episode of Pisobilities here in GNN. But time never runs out when you save and grow your money. We would like to thank FJC, Personal Finance Guru, for joining our pilot episode. We appreciate it very much. As we are excited for next Tuesday's episode, because of this successful episode, we shall leave you with this quote from the most popular writer, si Anonymous. Lagi na nababanggit, si Anonymous. Simply, it means, hindi galing originally mine. Sabi, let us not be afraid of tomorrow. we have seen yesterday, let us seize today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see you, same time, same channel, next week. Pisobilities live in GNN.